ensembles, and then the whole band will be performing the last part of the program. Tonight, the first on the program will be Alan Johansson, and he will be playing Hot Cross Buns, trumpet solo. Alan? Clarinet solo, Kristen Hutmacher will be doing Pink Panther. Next, we'd like to present an ensemble, and I'm sure that you are well aware that an ensemble is more than one person. And in this ensemble, it's a duet with Jenny Grantham and Kristen Hutmacher, and they'll be doing two for you. The first one is Lean on Me, and the second one, Rock Around the Clock. And now we'll move to a brass instrument, baritone solo by Josh Stedman, Molly Malone. And now, The Legend of Tom Dooley will be illustrated in clarinet solo by Leslie Jones. ensemble. All of them worked these up by themselves on their own without any help from me. So it's really a fantastic achievement. And also, if you guys would stand up again, the solos and ensemble, would you please stand? Can we give them another round of applause for this? I think next time we're going to have to work a little bit on accepting applause. I have, when they sit up here, they usually get through and they turn around and run away. Maybe we can work on that. Okay. Now we'd like to come to the full band portion of the program. And we're going to be doing several numbers for you. The first one we're going to do is entitled Holly Wolly Doodle. One of the things that we try to work on here, of course, is making sure that they watch the director. And as you'll notice, all of them, every once in a while, will look at the director. They watch the director so that we stay right together. Because the only thing that I do up here is direct the beat. So that's my only job. They don't take that away from me. Now, the second number we'd like to do for you is entitled Big Rock Candy Mountain. Now this piece is, you should hear several different parts going on. This is actually a full band arrangement where you'll have different, the sax is doing, and clarinets and flutes doing something different than the percussion and something different than the trumpets. So here we go, Big Rock Candy Mountain. The next number we would be doing for you is entitled Faith of Our Fathers. And this is supposed to be a very smooth, connected song. We also work on dynamics, that is the levels of volume that's used. And as you go through here, you will notice their uses of piano and their uses of forte, okay? These are very obvious. You'll also notice how they connect the tones and make them very smooth. Faith of Our Fathers. We learn besides piano and forte, we also learn the difference between legato and staccato, and also marcato, which are all different degrees of dynamic markings. Actually, the staccato means detached, so you should hear some sounds separated rather than connected, which is legato. This song, Camp Town Races, starts off with a staccato phrasing, also has a few accents here and there. Accents are something that makes a sudden burst in volume. And then some parts of this should be legato, smooth and connected. Music lesson time. Before we go on, I just kind of wanted to mention that this group meets every morning, or has been since the semester time, has been meeting every morning from 8:15 till about 9 o'clock. And they've been really good, and it's real hard to compete against open gym and outside when it's beautiful weather. It's really tough. And they've been really good about coming in, and practicing and playing 5 days a week. And I also need to make sure that I thank Mr. Barr and also the 5th and 6th grade teachers for accommodating beginning band at that time in the morning and allowing me to have that extra time that I need with the students. This next one you're going to listen to should have a nice feeling of a waltz. And I'm sure that many of you have heard the Man on the Flying Trapeze. So, da 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 da. I thought maybe I might just have a little short demonstration. You know, the percussion section many times gets ignored. You know, when we stand up here and I'm always working with pitch, with the right fingerings for the wind instruments, and the correct posture and support. And of course, for the percussionists, stand back there going, yeah, right, okay, sure, yeah, okay. And the thing about the percussion is they never get featured on some things, and you know, they do some things that are kind of difficult. You know what I'd like to try? Mr. McAlpine, would you mind demonstrating for us? I don't want to put you on the spot. Just do some single strokes, left, right, left, right, left, right, just like that, okay? Yeah, Mr. Drum. Yep. Okay, now would you do a paradiddle? Now, can you tell the difference? Yeah. You can? You didn't do good enough. You're not supposed to be able to tell the difference. When you do a single stroke back and forth with just alternating sticks, well then one of the other rudimentals is called the paradiddle, where you go paradiddle, 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 and you hit it twice with one stick and alternate. So paradiddle, paradiddle, and well, I'll tell you, the faster you get going, the more tricky that becomes. But that's one of the rudiments, and that you have that rudiment in this song right here, which is Erie Canal. You know, they've been really working hard on these numbers. We come in and they go through and we run through them two or maybe, well actually they probably just run through them for the last few weeks, maybe once each, you know, because by that time we're on time. But they've been really good at just doing this, you know. And this one particular piece, we've done it in unison a few times, but today for the assembly was like the second time that we've done it in a round. Now, this can be real challenging because, you know, I divide them into two groups. One group starts, then the other group comes in a little bit later. Well, of course, the challenging thing is to make sure that you stay in the correct measures so that the harmonies come out right. And they did a fantastic job today. It was really pleasing. So I was going to try that for you today, or tonight, I should say. First thing we're going to do is we're going to do the whole thing in unison. It's called Lovely Evening. Okay? And then we're going to split into two parts and try to do it into a two-part round. Now we'll split into two parts, okay? tonight. And for this number, we'd like to add to the rhythm section. And if you don't mind, we wouldn't even mind doing this twice for you. Okay? This one is called the Mexican Hat Dance. I'm really happy with this group. They've been doing such a super job, and it's been great having them this year. And I just wanted to say that on the 23rd in the morning, they will be having the 6th graders will be auditioning for junior high band, and on Friday, the 5th graders will be auditioning for the elementary advanced band. The audition is for them to come in and play for me so I can see where they are and be able to analyze how they're doing, and then hopefully progress on to the next group. All these neat percussion instruments, okay? Hopefully you'll be able to hear them over the mighty band here. Notice how they have me so well trained. They got me sort of and then I go like this. They got me trained. This time, when they get to the very end, dun, 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 Olay! That's the ending. And also, can I have a few more smiles back there? Thank you, Pasha. Thank you. Good job. Now, there won't be any band tomorrow morning if you will make sure that all the stands and all the equipment gets put back into the band room tonight. Okay? Thank you. Thank you for coming.